Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Scott and welcome to Double Deedle Design. Today's video is going to focus on something that you need to have in your architecture kit or your design kit whenever you're going to a project, whenever you're meeting with a client, or whenever you're bored and just don't have anything to do. And that is a sketchbook. You know what a sketchbook is? This is a sketchbook. Believe it or not, it's actual paper. There are actual pages in here, and it's a hard-bound book. It can be soft-bound. Moleskine makes a lot of really nice products. This is a generic Pro Art sketchbook from way back in the day. And what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today is why sketchbooks are important and why is it important to sketch in general. Some of you may also know this guy, the iPad. I'll have a whole other session on how to use your Apple Pencil and your iPad to do the same thing that a sketchbook would do and have a lot more flexibility. But you got to crawl before you can walk, and in my opinion, using a paper sketchbook is absolutely critical. So let's talk about the advantages of digital versus a paper sketchbook. Well, obviously, with a digital sketchbook, all you really need to do is do your sketching, and then you can send your artwork or your graphics to your portfolio, to your 3D models, to your clients via email, into Photoshop, whatever you need to use it for, without the need for scanning or taking a picture of it with your phone and running it through a scanning software. We can talk a little bit more in another video about how I use OneDrive, to take pictures of some of my sketchbook images, get the right proportions and kind of freeform transform until they're the perfect page size, and then send them on to my editing software. But you can do the same thing with a paper sketchbook. So the advantages of paper are there's just something about a tactile feel of a pen on paper sketching some of these images. To see the ink blob off to the side if you're using a pen, something refreshing and rewarding about that might be subconscious. Don't quote me on that. But what's really great about a sketchbook is it takes ideas that are up here and puts them onto a medium that you can look at later here. So if you forget something or you think of the coolest design ever, you've got the best layout of this floating house, extend out, cantilever over a cliff. You're able to put it down on paper quickly and then build on it later. Instead of just saying to your friends, that was a really good idea. I should have kept that idea. Now we know what to do. So you've got your sketchbook, you've got your handy pen. Here's a pen that I love to use. These are the Sharpie pens. Great products from Sharpie. They come in fat markers that you've seen, the giant size, all the way down to a very, very fine tip pen. I'm a bit of a nerd. I like the finest point I can get on my pencils or my pens. And so these are all micro points. I use a 0.5 Graphigear. And I also use a Sharpie pen with an ultra fine point. So now that we've got our utilities and our pencils and our pens and our sketchbook, the idea is to draw. Well, I know what you're saying. Scott, I can't draw. I'm not a very good drawer or an artist or a sketcher. If you say you can't draw very well, then you haven't been drawing. And the way to get better at art and drawing and sketching is to actually draw and to sketch. Quit your whining, go draw something, and do it repeatedly until you get good at it. So make sure you're spending a lot of time with these three instruments or with this, and make sure that you're drawing as much and often as you can. Trust me, if you keep doing it over the course of weeks or months, you will get better at it. What's the point of a sketchbook once you get your designs and your ideas down? Once you have them in the sketchbook, it's a great coffee table book, right? Set it on the coffee table, people will go, oh my God, you can sketch, that's fantastic. The point of a sketchbook is to make sure that you could build on these ideas later in your architectural designs. I can't tell you how many times I've had my sketchbook open and been in SketchUp or in Revit actually modeling what I've sketched in real life. It happens all the time, and you have to have that ability of not only knowing the software and how it works, but how to take rough, random ideas from here and put them into your project. You're going to use it also for your portfolio. My portfolio that I use for job interviews, as well as on my website, is littered with sketches. Freehand sketches, pen and ink sketches, pencil sketches. I've actually done an oil painting sketch in my sketchbook. Didn't turn out very well. That was back in school. I don't recommend that. But feel free to use this as any medium as you can, because this is your second brain. This is your ability to take information and transform it into an actual building or design. When you're able to pull out a napkin or a piece of paper and sketch in front of a client and show them the ideas you have in your head, your credibility skyrockets immediately. Finally, use them at job interview. I've brought a sketchbook with me and shown them how these turned into images that were in my portfolio. There's a lot more to come on this. Thanks for joining my channel. Please make sure to subscribe. We're going to bring out a lot more videos. We're going to show you how we do things in Revit, how we do things in sketching. We're going to answer a lot of questions about what it's like to be an architect, what it's like to work with clients, what it's like to work with consultants, what it's like to work with each other, which can sometimes be very challenging, and just in general, what it means to design the built environment like we do. Thanks for joining. Make sure you come back and see us again.